All right, I'm gonna give it a few minutes to see if anybody rolls in. This is just for my members only. And I know it's not a ton of you guys, but I wanted to kind of come in here and see who's going to join. So I'll just wait around and see. Good afternoon, Nick. I think Trudy was up here and jumped off. So I see a few of you guys that are live. I can't actually see you guys, but I can. Can you guys hear me? If someone can just message and let me know if they can hear me, just fine. I see where it says you guys can just post a message. It should let you post a message. Hey Nina, are you able to hear me? Okay, perfect. So if you guys have any questions for me, you can actually post it in a comment. This is my first time doing a YouTube live, so I'm not sure of all the bells and whistles and details and stuff, but I can see the comments coming in. And I know Trudy has asked me a question so far. And the audio and visual is good. So yes, I appreciate that. So I just want to thank you guys first and foremost for taking time out your day to join this live. I hope to do more of this. I just want to kind of reach out and appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, whether it's supporting the community, the course, whatever you're in, it's just all love here. And I'm truly grateful for that and appreciative of it. So I wanted to kind of take some time to answer questions. If you have questions about your test prep journey, programs that I offer, support that's out there, whatever questions you have, you can kind of post them in the chat. I do have one question that Trudy asked and says, hey, Arisza, what advice would you give me when it comes to practice questions and how to think like the test? Because I'm currently struggling with that and really want to think like the test. So the test speaks a different language. We all speak English, most of us. Some people might speak Spanish or some other languages. However, for the most part, the test is written in English, and that's how we're kind of learning and how we process stuff. However, the language of the test itself is different. You have to kind of understand what the test is asking, kind of figure out who's the population, what role you play. All of those are the details that you must look at when you're in answering a question. What I see a lot of people do is they try to just memorize content. They're studying content, studying, and they're trying to memorize all this information. And then when they get to the test, they're like, none of that was on it. No, it was on it. It was just worded in a way that maybe you wasn't expecting, or wording in a way that wasn't as easy as which stage of development is this. It might give you a scenario and you have to kind of read a little bit more in depth to understand that, this seems like it might be Freud, and this is because of this, and be able to kind of analyze it a little bit more. So yes, there are tons of reasoning questions. There's a lot of application questions. And with that, you have to apply what you know, or either reason behind the things that you, or I'm sorry, I had a call coming in. Or either when it comes to reasoning, you have to kind of narrow down your option choices. So that is pretty much the only advice I can say when it comes to thinking like the test, is truly, truly taking some time and just processing the information as you learn it versus trying to just memorize it. I think that's something that a lot of us do. It's just a natural way of doing stuff, just trying to memorize stuff. All right. Bacon made easy. Hello. Gregory Mudd. Hello. And let's see, Nina Crystal, Nashiba. I see a few of you in here. Hello to each and every one of you. So yes, any questions? If not, I can kind of tell you a little bit about what I offer, what I do, but this is really about you guys. So I wanted to kind of tap in and see what questions you guys might have specifically for me. If you have any feedback about the videos or videos that you would like to see more of, I would love to hear that from you guys as well. If you guys are in the community or don't know how to access the community, this is your opportunity to ask me. I've been getting a lot of people reaching out to me on Psychology Today. I do have a private practice. That is pretty much my I don't want to say my first love. I think test prep. I think you guys and what I do here is like my first love. But I do have a private practice and I have a group practice. So I do have other individuals that work under me, provide therapy services and so forth. So I'm constantly working with people who are licensed or supervisees working towards a licensure. So yes, that is pretty much what I do. So when you guys are reaching me on Psychology Today, it kind of sometimes gets lost, or my intern or someone else is getting those messages. So it might be a little confusing or take a little bit longer for me to get back to you guys. All right. So Erica asked, hello, for the boot camp, is it 6 hours straight for the weekend dates? Yes, it's a boot camp. Boot camps are intense, a lot of work, a lot of stuff. I've been working on this probably for the last few weeks and my mind is like, So this weekend I plan to finalize everything. It is a lot, but I wanted the boot camp to pretty much give whoever is in the boot camp everything they feel like they need to succeed. Like, I don't want them to leave the boot camp still asking questions. I still get that whether I'm doing the coaching sessions, that's only 1 hour a week. A lot of people up there, I'm answering questions, I'm doing questions. However, getting behind the questions and what it's really stating and meaning and why is it important on the exam or how it might show up differently on the exam, I'm unable to do that in an hour. But with 6 hours, we're not only going over test questions, we're doing content. So if you're in the 6 hour one, the first day, and obviously you have breaks and stuff, and we have some exercises and stuff that we're going to do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of engagement, but it's going to be a long day. Yes, it's Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. We will be going over tons of questions pretty much in day 2. So if you're coming on Saturday, that's going to be a lot of content, pretty much breaking down what to expect on the LMSW exam versus the LCSW exam, because I get a lot of that. The content is similar, but how they want you to show up and answer these questions are different. So I'm going to take some time honing in those areas. In addition to that, we're going to do pretty much a lot of content. And then the second day is pretty much strategy, applying everything you know and answering tons of questions. Those that are in the boot camp, they'll have a workbook. That's pretty much what's taking the longest to finalize because I didn't want it to be too big, but it's a lot of information in there. So pretty much you'll be able to work along with me. Everything that I'm going over, you're going to get all the information, all the breakdowns of the different concepts and my FMBM method and how that works. Everything's going to be in the bootcamp manual. So if you're joining it, I know some people might have to jump on or jump off. It is going to be recorded, but yes, to answer your question, it is 6 hours plus another 6 hours. So yes, about 12-hour weekend. All right, Angela, how soon after passing the LMSW you can prepare for the LCSW? The steps to gear towards the LCSW in New York. It's pretty much, you just have to wait for the board to issue your license. So once you take the exam, you pass the exam, you wait, you get the unofficial score, but then they have to send it to ASWB. They have to kind of go through all of that hoorah and do your background, make sure you're good and legit. And then they'll issue you your license. Once you do that, you can then move on and apply for supervision or find your clinical supervisor and so forth. But you have to have, obviously, the LMSW. That's the hardest part. Once you get that part, then you're pretty good with starting supervision. All right. Bacon Made Easy said, I purchased the APGAR study book. I've been studying from the content in there, but I also love how you hit the target points. I appreciate that. Don APGAR study guide book. I honestly don't have any experience utilizing it. I have to check because I have a closet full of test prep stuff over the last 15 years. I started my supervision journey in 2007, so I finished my hours in 2009. So we're talking about maybe about 16 years of studying and preparation. So I pretty much had every book known to man and very familiar with all the courses out there. And like I tell people, it's all great. I don't have anything negative to say about any test prep program out there. Is what works for you. Don APGAR has helped many people, and there's many people who just can't get with it. It just depends. It's like 50-50 pretty much with any program. The content in the book is really good. If you can kind of dissect, and this is for other people, because I know you're using it, Bacon Made Easy, but I know some people have asked me about that specific book or other books they can use in addition to. I'm a firm believer of just sticking with one thing and trying to make it work. Not trying to make it work. And if it works, sticking with it. But if it doesn't, then figuring out something else. You don't want to just stay with something because you invested in it, but it's really not helping you get to the end because you're going to spend more money in the long haul retesting and so forth. All right. And then Gregory said, what is the difference with you working with someone one-on-one as opposed to the community? I'm not sure. Just to make sure I'm answering the question correctly, I want to make sure. So you mean like a question on the exam that might be pertaining to a community as a whole and maybe working with individuals? Basically the community is your client. So normally when you're dealing with a community, you're dealing with someone on the meso, the macro level. So it's a lot larger. Your role, your responsibilities. It's normally not a lot of stuff when you're dealing with like personal issues of confidentiality, because the community is the client. So if the community has a need to reduce gun violence or to decrease the amount of substance usage in the community, then that's your main focus as a social worker. Versus if you're working with the individual, you're going to be working with them on their personal life stuff. Maybe they're going through a divorce, or they're having difficulty at their job, or dealing with infidelity, or whatever it may be. These are individualistic stuff that you're going to be working on. So how you show up is going to be different, because they're going to need you in a different capacity versus the community at large. You're playing more of a maybe an advocating role or policy making role. It's just going to be different in that function. Hopefully that answers it. If not, just message exactly what you're asking, and I can kind of, help you out and see if I can answer a little bit better. And I'm just going to show some of the questions that you guys, as I answer them. I think Angela answered your question. Erica answered yours. Of course, you had the first question, Trudy, and I didn't post it up there. All right. All right. And I definitely appreciate that, Gregory. You said, I love your passion for trying to help us. Absolutely. I've been there. I know how it is. All right. So you're working with someone personal for the exam as opposed. Oh, you mean as it pertains to me? Okay. I was way off, way over here. All right. Yes. Yeah, so when I work with the group, it's pretty much what the group needs. So it's pretty similar as the question I gave you. We just switch it from me being you taking the exam and focus on the community, focus on the individual. It's the same thing. So if I'm working with a group, the group might ask, hey, can you do more questions on ethics? Or, hey, I'm really struggling when it comes to this. So I'm getting all the feedback from the group as a whole and showing up and helping them in that capacity. Then on the other end, I have some people who are when they come to me and they want to work individually, they're like, look, I love the group. It's great. I appreciate it, but I need all my time and I want to focus just on myself and what I struggle with. I've taken this exam a few times, or I don't want to take this exam multiple times. So I need to really hone in. So we're reviewing questions. I'm getting into like their thought processes, like where they're coming at when they're thinking about certain things. And everybody's different. I've had people who I've done private tutoring with and people I've worked individually with that have passed the test, and I've had some who haven't. It just really depends on how you show up and whether you utilize that time to get what you truly need out of it. I like the group because I feel like we grow and we learn from other people. So I really enjoy the group setting. But when it comes to individual, I love it when somebody shows up and they're like, look, this is what I need to focus on. And it's really easy to pinpoint how I can show up for them and help them. So yeah, it definitely just depends on the individual, but that's the difference in what it looks like. Individualized is just that. It's like nobody else, just you. The questions I give you, breaking down the questions. It's not a global focus. It's just focus on what you need. We can go over your exam scores, the content areas that you need help with, all of that good stuff. All right. Thank you. I answered that. So any other questions? I've seen some people jump on and jump off. I know this is probably I'm Eastern time zone. So I know some people, if it's West Coast, they probably just going to work, but other people are probably going to lunch or on lunch. All right. And it's Ellen Vita or Ellen Deval 85. Hi there. Let me just post it so that everyone can see the question. Hi there. I took my exam 6 months ago and I failed. I'm happy to come across your content this month. Your videos are helpful. I'm having bad test anxiety as my second test is next month. Any tips? Absolutely. I think individuals to me that are retesting, their anxiety is a lot higher to me than those that are testing for the first time. Test anxiety is real, but I always tell people if you're testing again, it's just no matter how much work you put in and how much you shift your mindset, you still have that little inkling of doubt that this could potentially happen again, or what if this happens again? So for me, just as important as studying the content is going to be just as important as focusing on that mindset. And that's truly doing a lot of mindfulness techniques, some grounding exercises, really getting yourself in a place where you feel good and just secure in whatever the outcome is. Because this test is not going to define you. If you do take it again and things don't work out, you have another opportunity. It's not, so many of us are defined by this test. We label our intelligence based on how well we do and all of those things. So I think it can be really hard and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So my advice to you would be to just study, give it your best shot, make sure you take time for yourself, make sure that you cut off and don't do studying overload, because there's a such thing as studying too much. So you want to make sure you kind of just take some time. If you missed it by, I think you said, well, you didn't say how many points, but you took it a few months ago. I would also look at how many points. So if you're less than 10 points away, and I have to preference this because if you miss 10 points or less, in order to not pass the exam, you had to at least missed about 45, 50 questions. You had to miss about 45 questions off the rip out of 170. Automatically, you miss 45. So really be mindful of how many you missed the test by, because you really want to make sure you understand and know why you struggled in certain areas, what you could have done differently in those areas, and so forth. So just have an understanding of where you fell short so you can really work on strengthening that area, and then I will go from there. But definitely some mindfulness activities and some exercises in that area. All right, I'll take a few more questions. Sorry, let me just piggyback off. You said, thank you. My first clinical exam, I had so many questions on community supervision and quantitative study, and you missed it by 3. Yes, so those are areas that I'm hearing it's a lot on the exam. Community supervision, qualitative study, it's a lot of it on there. I do talk about that in the boot camp, and I do have sections on that, obviously, in the course. It's not my strong suit. I tell people all the time, it's a lot of stuff on the exam I just don't like or just not interested in. And those are probably some areas that I'm not. Supervision is definitely up there a lot. And I think whether you're taking the LMSW or the LCSW, it's important to understand that and why they provide that, because everyone needs to have insight on what to do and when you need to seek supervision or guidance. But yes, those 3 points, you definitely got it in the bag. The only thing that I will focus on to get, because you've probably been studying more, so you know more than what you do the last time, is really focusing on your mindset then. I would really focus on just kind of do a lot of visualization activities, visualize seeing yourself with the past going across the screen, or you getting that sheet of paper and it's showing that you got exactly what you need. Write it out, write your name with the credentials on the end of it. Don't put it out in for other people to see, but your own little vision board and your own way of seeing things, and just, speak it and put in fruition. That would be my advice for you. Let's see. Let me go to Erica, then I can come back to you. Erica, I'm not sure if it's due to anxiety, but sometimes when studying, I feel that I'm not retaining information. Absolutely. That's a huge one. I don't know your age, Erica, but I think if you've been out of school for a few years, or if you're older, I'm going to say older, anybody, if you fresh out of college and you finish your graduate program in your 20s and you test in your 20s, then you probably are good to go. But if you over that 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, moving into that realm, life is life. You've had so many experiences. You've been through a lot. You're working, raising family. You might be married, might have grandchildren. Everybody's life is so different and they have so many things going on. I think it's hard to focus on information, especially if it doesn't engage you or doesn't, excite you in a way. And a lot of this information just doesn't. So I would do a little bit at a time. What comes to retaining, how I have my course set up is that you take a module and then you take a 5-question quiz. You take a module, you take a 5-question quiz, and do the same thing. Whatever you're studying or whatever you're utilizing, study in like 10, 15-minute increments. Then pause, stop, and just say it out loud. Or if you're studying with someone else, just go over what you retain. Like, okay, well, so far I learned this, to make sure you're getting it. Don't study for a full hour or two and then try to go back and figure out what you retain. Because you'll notice in the first 10, 15 minutes if you're not retaining the information. So why keep going on? You might need to take a brain break or take an energy drink or something to keep yourself going with that momentum. All right. And I know you did answer. You said you had a lot of vignettes, no psychiatric medication questions. I felt whiplash. I feel you on that. So many people say they study medications. I've seen a lot of other test prep people and they just go over medications. I'm thinking to myself, like, I've been licensed forever and I still don't know those medications like that. I just don't. And I do private practice. I know what medications my clients take. I know which medications are the most common ones that you're likely to see with certain diagnoses, but it's not something that I would say I would spend hours to prepare the exam for, because to prepare for the exam, because it is something that you're likely, the most I've ever had somebody say with medications is maybe 2 or 3 questions at the most. So definitely, I would not spend all that time and energy doing the test and actually focusing on the medication questions for sure. Definitely. And Erica, you said you finished your master's last year. Okay, so you're pretty close. The information and the content from school is probably still there. So you just want to build on that. Whatever worked in grad school to help you get through the finish line is what I would use to study now. You know, it's mainly those that finish graduate school maybe 10, 15 years plus, and then now they're trying to take this test and they're trying to figure out how to, you know, retain the information and learn the content. Yeah, I do see a few people jumped off and a few people came on. So if you're coming on, I've been up here for a few. I probably stay up here for about another 10 minutes or so. People are just posting their questions in the chat. I think this is going to save my first time, like I said, doing a live on YouTube. So hopefully it saves and I'll be able to post it so you guys can see the questions and stuff at the end and answer it. So hopefully that works out. Let's see. You're welcome, Erica. All right. So if you have any questions, you just came on, just definitely log in. And this is questions about anything. It could be about your test prep process, services I offer, videos you want to see more of, a video that was helpful or you want a part 2 of. Maybe you're doing another test prep program. You don't have to name it, but maybe you're struggling with learning the material, gaining it, some tools and hints and stuff that I can help you with. That's pretty much what this live is for, just to kind of help you out. All right. So we got, let's see, is it Willette? So I am to take the exam for the 4th time. What do you suggest? I don't really know your scores. So the first thing I do, and if you guys have not, even on my website, I think I can probably share it. Let me just see. Now I'm trying to get all technical and stuff on here and don't know what I'm doing. So let me just see if it'll work. I'm gonna try this real quick and see if it'll let me share my screen. And it does. All right, perfect. So for many of you, this is just a small thing. So like right here, this is my website. I have a few websites, but this is probably the most easiest, simplified way. And thank you for the person to help create this one. Here is just arizahillman.com. Right here, for many of you, you might not have joined the free community. This is the link here. You click on where it says join the community. It'll take you straight to the link to join and sign up. Here are the services that I offer. So it kind of breaks down the different services. But most importantly, it has a little contact here if you need to reach me. But most importantly, it says book a consultation. So once you click on that consultation, my schedule will pop up. I do have some times available for today and tomorrow. I haven't added any other days up there, but this just gives you an idea of what to do. So you would just go to that page, click on book a consultation. And that is pretty much what I use. I'm back. I stopped sharing. Okay, perfect. Getting the hang of this. That is pretty much what I use the book consultation. So the consultation is meant for you to ask me these questions like, Willette, I don't know your previous scores. I don't know what exam you're taking. I don't know if your scores, if you're really, really close. I don't know if you're 15, 20 points away. All of that determines the feedback and the suggestions that I will give you. And no, when I do these calls, sometimes people say, hey, I want to work with you. And I tell them my services, but you can see that on the website. Some people are just like, hey, I'm testing in a week. I need some encouragement, or I've been doing this and this isn't working. Any suggestions or things of that nature. So if you have any questions or need some support, I suggest Willette doing that. Just basic generic information. If some of you are in Willette's case, I will look at the scores, see where you fell short in, study those areas. If you're a few points away in certain areas, then do that. I try to take the simplest route. So if you did really well in 2 areas, but 2 areas you really struggled in, you can go 1 of 2 ways. The 2 areas you did well, you can go there and gain extra points, or you can go to the 2 areas you didn't do well and then focus just on those. I like to study with 1 section at a time. So that's kind of how my course is set up. Human development, all of that. And then clinical interventions, assessments, all that stuff is another section. I don't do well with like mixing it all up and learning everything because I want to make sure I comprehend and understand certain aspects. So I can go back and say, oh, I don't really understand human development at all. I need to go to another area. So that is pretty much my suggestion, the basic generic answer that I can give you. Thank you so much. You found the videos to be very helpful and organized. I pray also that you're LCSW by next month. Definitely. All right, let's see. And I think, hello, I'm new here. I'm on my 4th time taking the test. Same thing. I think Willette and Yvonne pretty much said the same thing. You guys are in the same boat, taking it on your way to taking the test for the 4th time. Definitely reach out, do a consultation, message me. something we can talk about. Like I tell everybody, I can't guarantee that you're going to pass it on the fourth time, but I can definitely give you the tools and the support that you need. I have someone that I've been doing private tutoring with, and they needed like 15 to 20 points to pass. I forgot the exact amount, but it was a lot of points. And I did private tutoring with them, and we knew that they needed a little bit more time, but they had test dates scheduled and they needed to take it. And whatever it is, they took the test, they missed it by 2 points. So I use that story because most people are like, oh my God, they still didn't pass with 2 points. But that is probably one of my most exciting success stories. I've had success stories with people who have taken the test 8, 9, 10, God knows how many times. And we've done something different. I have one person that did that. She took my course. I put her in my beta program. She passed it. I'm not saying it's the course, but she showed up, and I did it in a way for people who are, I don't want to say older, but kind of have a difficulty to learn a different learning style where they just don't retain information like they used to. So the course was built for her, and she said it was simplified and easier. And I don't know what it is, but she passed it after multiple attempts, and she had tried at least 3 or 4 different test prep programs. So I was excited by that. That's one of my success stories. And then the other person that I've been working with them, for them to miss it by 2 points, they filled out the waivers. So they're going to have that win and be up here in another 30 days or so telling y'all that they won and they passed the test. But just to see that person go up 15 points from the last time they took the exam was just amazing to me, because 15 points is a part of my French, but a hell of a lot of points for this test. That's a lot. So be mindful of where you are. If you're like a 20, 30 points away from that, you need a course. We don't even need to do a consult, but it don't have to be my course, but search the internet and find somebody's course to go in and get the content you need. And then you can do some coaching sessions and some one-on-ones or whatever, or boot camp or something that's going to kind of help seal in the content and the things that you learn. But you definitely got to learn the content. There's no way getting away from that. Thank you. And let's see. I think Jane, the same thing. Fell by 4. The second time 1 point, and the third time by 2 points, and now you're scheduled for September. Sometimes, to me, guys, I'll be honest, sometimes it's timing. Timing is everything. Everybody's life and circumstances, what we're going through personally and professionally and spiritually and all that good stuff can dictate when this test really works in our favor. Because this is like, you missed it by 4, 1, and 2. Like, you clearly know a lot. And you clearly have the skills and the tools to pass this test. My question to you would be, did you go back and change any answers? Did you second guess yourself and change anything? I don't care if it was 1, 2, maybe it was only 4 questions, but I've seen that make the difference in people's exams. When you're this close, I would say don't second guess yourself. Continue doing what you're doing, because you're only a few points away from getting to where you need to be. I have had people who have purchased a course that were only 1 point or 2 points away. And the reason being, or just due to coaching, think about it like this. I said earlier in this live, 45 in order, you have 170 questions, 20 are thrown out. So you got 150 to work with. If you don't pass the test, you've already missed 50 plus questions or 50 questions. That's still a lot of questions that's on the table. So there's always room to gain more knowledge and to gain more insight on the test and what's happening. So anybody, if you're 1 point or more, could benefit from doing some extra studying and some extra things. But just think about what got you from the 4th point to the 1 point, because something you were doing was helping you. So you want to kind of tap into that and do more of it. All right. Someone said they can't see it. Oh, you couldn't see when I shared the screen? Oh, man. I'll try it again, but let me just make sure. When you say, Nina, will I be doing the lives at different times? This is my first time doing it. So it's y'all show. It's whatever y'all want. If you're like, hey, can you do it once a week? Or hey, can you do it on this date or around this time or something? The majority does rule. And I know I got a lot of people from East Coast, West Coast, Central, Pacific, and every other time zone. So I try to pick something that worked for everyone. But if you feel like another time or doing this a little bit more frequently works, you guys showed up. So you already know my rule. You guys show up, I'm going to show up, I'm going to show out. That's just it. So at least half of the people who are in this community have, the YouTube community, have decided to actually jump on the live. So I do appreciate that. I'm pretty good for the first time jumping up here. So definitely we'll be open to doing it more. Did anybody else have an issue with seeing the screen? I don't want to jump off if everyone had an issue with seeing it. Yvonne, see, you see, look at that. You missed by 3 points each time. And would you just say that? Let me show y'all what she said. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. I changed 3 answers. That's it. I've never seen somebody take the first time I took the test, I missed it by 1 point. And I'm telling you, I was flagging questions like it was no tomorrow. I was flagging it like it was just they were giving out stuff, flagging it. Whoever can flag the most. I had no system, no strategy, no nothing. Went in there, took it, missed it by 1 point, and that changed my life forever. I know if I didn't miss it by that 1 point, I wouldn't be talking to you guys today. So I'm appreciative of that 1 point. However, it was life changing. It let me know all the things I did wrong. I told myself I would never do again. And when I showed up the second time and took that test, I didn't do any of it. I flagged questions, but it was a system. I only flag, like I tell people to flag no more than 20. Still answer it just in case you run out of time. Like there's still a system to it when you do flag, but absolutely changing 3 answers can be all the difference. Can make all the difference. Oh, you said Yvonne said she didn't see it. And someone else said they didn't see it either. So I don't know if I'm gonna try it one. Did anybody see it? I see what it's saying. It's saying that I need to share. It's better to share the screen if I had 2 monitors. So that might be why it's not. So you guys, can y'all see it? The screen? It's not. Oh, here it goes right here. Duh. I was supposed to just change the screen. My bad. All right. So let me go back real quickly to show you what I was looking at. So this is ArizaHillman.com. So if you are here and you're not a part of the free test prep community to know about services, engagement, just anything we have going on, that's the number 1 platform I communicate and provide all updates on. You will go here where it says join the community. So right there, you guys should see where it says join the community. And then this is pretty much the home screen. It gives you all the information and some other services and stuff I provide. And if you go here, it talks about more of the services, but most of the boot camp, some of you asking about the boot camp, this is it here. But contact, this is how to reach me. If you want to email me, you can email me straight from here. This is the website. But most importantly, book a consultation. So some of you I have already met with and did a one-to-one. But if not, you would click on that book a consultation. And then you can see I have some slots available Friday and Saturday available. Yep. And that would be it. You would just pick it. I add dates. So I haven't just put next week up there. I kind of do 2-3 days at a time. I did change my screen. I kind of do 2-3 days at a time. So that is pretty much where you would go to kind of book a consultation, ask questions, see what you can, how you can benefit, what I can help you with and all that good stuff. Or sometimes just to, tell me what is working or what hasn't, worked for you, just to kind of have a conversation about it. So a lot of people have found that to be helpful, especially I've spoken to a lot of people a day or two before they test. And that's an amazing thing to have one conversation. They're like, can you give me any tips? And we talk for like 15-20 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer. And they reach back the next day and just talk about how helpful that one conversation was. So it's, again, I do this because I love it and I enjoy it. Yes, it is my livelihood. So when people do purchase courses and programs and stuff, I ain't gonna lie, that helps me. That helps the bottom line. That helps me to show up and do this live and things like that versus doing something else that I would have to do to supplement income. So that part, I do offer my services for sure. I would be crazy not to, but it's not the main thing that we talk about on those consultation calls. I probably can say at least 50 to 60% of them, we're just talking about what works for you and just getting to know you and your journey. All right, so it looks like everybody can see it. I don't see any other questions up here, so I am about to end it. But if you have any questions, as soon as I said it, looks like somebody else jumped up there. So I do want to give an opportunity. If you have a question, just post it in the, you can just post it in the chat section. I'll read it out loud. Someone else might have the same question. If not, I definitely appreciate you guys jumping up here. And I'm almost positive, I think these are recorded, so you can see it later if you need the tutorial of how I showed you the website, or, to fill out a consultation or something like that. Let me know. All right. Thank you, Gregory. I appreciate it. He said he found it to be very helpful. And again, like I said, you guys have questions. I don't know everything, but a lot of the questions you guys ask, if it's test prep related or how you can help or tools or something like that, absolutely, I'm going to give you the best answer I have. And if I don't know it, I'll get back to you. You guys know that when you leave comments on the videos or send me a message, no one can, if you email me, I'm responding to you. That's something that I've prided myself on as a director for a large agency. Before I went out on my own, I was just really big on responsiveness. So I think it stuck with me. So normally when people send me something, I'm like, all right, you can wait 24 hours. I'm like, no, I got to respond. So I'm really quick on responding to you guys. So if you do have a question or anything, normally within 24 hours, I will respond to it and help you out. You can send me a message via email in the community. You can send me a message with the chat feature at the top. That is the only thing I did not show you guys. Since I do have you up here, I know I've shown in the video, but really quickly, I think since a few of you are still up here, let me just share that. And then I'm definitely going to jump off. So let's see. So I almost did the same thing again. All right, here we go. So right here, this is the community. So those of you that are in the test prep community, it's in pretty much every video. Everything has it. It's in my description box and all that kind of stuff. I don't do lives and I don't do any type of coaching sessions for everyone in the community. Right now, the community is really growing. We're almost at 500 people, so it's no way possible for me to do that. But I do have a coaching part. So if you're interested in services, it'll tell you about the boot camp. It tells you about the coaching. I throw case studies out here. Any big news, you can come here and see the people who are passing. I always post, right, I'm sorry, the wrong tab. These are the individuals, like when people pass, celebration time, I'm always giving them their flowers when they post about their wins and stuff. So you can see past the LCSW. So we're just excited and just cheering people on. You can see the wins. It's been a lot of success within the community. And that's kind of exciting. It can be overwhelming just to see that excitement in these people getting licensed. So that's that. We also have the ethics section, human development. And for most of you guys, everybody's like, where's the cheat sheets at? The cheat sheet, there's a study guides and cheat sheet section. So most of my YouTube video, this is where I post the cheat sheets, the ASW buzzwords. I gave a quiz and then the answers. And right here at the bottom was the cheat sheet. So yes, that is probably a best way to do it. And then over here in this chat feature, that's the way you can communicate with me directly. Send me a message, ask me for clarity, all those types of things. So this is a community as a whole. It can be overwhelming, but if you want to know about services, you click the learning tab, and this is where you can click on and purchase courses or content or practice tests, whatever you need. Pretty much is like a one-stop shop for everything test related in there. So I hope that was helpful and you guys were able to kind of see and understand this part, because I have not. I'm sure some of you are not in the community, which is fine because it's a lot. Sometimes it's too much and people say they don't like to be with all those people. So I get it. It's whatever works for you. All right. Well, we appreciate you as well. And KHUD 85, appreciate you as well. You're welcome. You're more than welcome. All right, guys. So this will be posted. I haven't seen any more questions pop up. So I am going to end it in about 30 seconds. You guys have been great. It's been a pleasure to take time off on this beautiful cloudy day in Virginia. It's not 100 degrees today, but it's cloudy out here. All right. So no questions, anything. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. Again, I will be doing more of these. I can't guarantee I'll do it every week, but I will be doing more of it. Please make sure you check the little polls and stuff that I post in there. I'm always asking about videos and content and just what you guys need. Pretty much all the services and everything I provide, I have gotten feedback from you guys, from those that have been on the YouTube channel in the community. They pretty much told me what they wanted. And I work with the masterminds and people behind the scenes that really help me be able to do this and develop these programs and courses and all this kind of stuff. So I definitely appreciate the love. And that is, it's helpful to get feedback from you guys so I can know how to keep showing up. All right. And you're from, let's see, Bacon Made Easy. Appreciate you as well. Appreciate you as well. All right. And that is it. Thank you guys. You have a good one. It was about 15 of you guys that showed up on here live. So this was definitely worth it. I see people still coming up here. For those of you that are coming up here that just came up here, because I allotted my time to do an hour, but everybody pretty much asked questions and showed up right when the live started. So I answered questions. But for those of you who just jumped on, if you want to post a question or have something that you want to ask, by all means, I will stay up here for a few more minutes to answer your questions. Anybody else, if y'all want to jump off or just stay on to see if they ask any questions that might help you, then feel free. I kind of like this live setup, but it's kind of interesting because I can only hear myself talking. I just have to read all the messages. So I'm used to people talking back to me. So it feels a little different. But either way, you guys have been posting in there that's helping me keep the engagement. So I do appreciate that. All right. And no one posted anything else, so some people just might not type as fast. So I'm going to say 15 seconds and then I'm going to end this stream at 40 minutes and 10 seconds. You see the clock at the top. I'll just jump off. You're welcome, Crystal. You're welcome. All right. You guys have an amazing weekend, and I hope to see y'all in some capacity, whether you're telling me, hey, I won that. I mean, I won that, basically, like you got that license, you passed that test. Definitely keep me posted and let me know about your journey. And if you're in the community, let's talk. Micah said, do you have an answer sheet for the practice test? I recently completed it. I think if you're talking about a practice test, I'm not sure if you're talking about the 170 question test that is in the course. I mean, not the course, but it's something you can pay. I think it's like the $47 test. Are you talking about that one? You welcome, Nina. Are you talking about, I'm just going to post your question, Michael, so I can answer that for you. Because I do have the answer key. I don't know if you're asking, I don't know the person who uploaded it. You must mean the answers and rationales for the one you missed. They should have given you the answers and rationale for the ones you missed, but you're asking for all of them. Yes, Micah, I'm asking you. Because I know the answer and rationale should have given it to you when you missed it, but you said you want the whole printout of everything all the answers so you can see the answers and rationales, I'm thinking. You can just say yes. And if that is the case, just send me a message or email. And I'm going to have my IT person look and see, because I thought that was in there. You didn't get it for the ones you missed. You didn't. Okay. Okay. All right. Now it's Friday at 12:41, so he should get back to me within the next few hours. He's pretty good about responding. And I had someone else upload the course with that, so I'll just have to double check with him and get back to you. So give me until later on this evening or something to give that to you. Definitely no later than Monday. If you're testing this weekend and you need it, then definitely send me an email so I can make sure we're on it. If not, I can definitely figure out why that didn't show up for you. All righty. And I think that is it. Micah asked the last question about the course. I mean, not the course, but the test prep. So it's been a pleasure, guys. I really appreciate you guys showing up here. I'm really going to end it down, and you guys have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you in the future.